What is good, y'all? What is good? Come on in here. Come on in here. We got some good stuff we about to cover today on Queen Bee's News. Yes, y'all. Starting out, we got my boy Trump coming straight from Rapid Response 47. Again, if you want the real deal and know actually what's going on in the truth, if you are on X, y'all, make sure you follow Rapid Response 47. It's coming straight from the people out the White House to keep you updated on real news. Now, with that being said, y'all, my boy Trump then went out here and did a little ceremony and was talking some good stuff as he does, y'all. As he does. So I just decided on this good old happy Friday to just bless y'all with this president's, whether some people like it or not, because at the end of the day, this is your president. All right. Now, with that being said, y'all, coming straight from Rapid Response, we finna dive into it. My guy has some good stuff to say. So let's get into it. And then y'all know me, we gonna chop it up towards the end. Let's dive right into the video. Let's go.
First, if you're here today and think that you're too young to do something great, let me tell you that you are wrong. You're not too young. You can have great success at a very young age. You're all very young. In America, with drive and ambition, young people can do anything. I was 28 when I took my first big gamble to develop a hotel in Midtown Manhattan, the Grand Hyatt, and it worked out incredibly well. But I was very young at the time. I was like a very young person in sort of an old person business. Steve Jobs was 21 when he founded Apple. Walt Disney was 21 when he founded Disney. James Madison, James Monroe, Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson. They were no older than 25 when they began the journeys that etched their names into the history books for all time. So to everyone here today, don't waste your youth. Go out and fight right from the beginning, from the day you leave this incredible university. Go out and fight tough, fight fair, but go out and fight. You're going to be very successful because now is the time to work harder than you have ever worked before. Push yourself further than you have ever pushed yourself before. Find your limits and then smash through everything. Go and smash through. You've watched that football team smash through. You're going to do the same thing. You're at the age when you have the time and vitality to do really incredible things. If you just give it your all.
Man, come on. Get you a president that represents the people, y'all. And I'm sorry, if that was me in the back, your eye be cheesing left and right like, oh, Trump is speaking at our ceremony. Do you understand when Trump is in your presence, whoever has ever met him, ran into him, got a handshake, whatever, y'all, that is a moment. That is a moment that goes down in history. You get what I'm saying? So this is huge for the people. You know what I'm saying? To have the president of the United States come and talk at your ceremony and give you those encouraging words. Man, come on, man. It ain't no better than this. It just can't be. He's here blessed with some more words, y'all. So finna dive into it. Coming straight from Rapid Response 47. Let's dive into it.
Number 6, if you want to change the world, you have to have the courage to be an outsider. In other words, you have to take certain risks and do things a little bit differently. Otherwise, if that weren't the case, everybody would be successful. Doesn't work that way.
Come on.
Progress never comes from those satisfied with the failures of a broken system. It comes from those who want to fix the broken system. And you'll make the bigger money, you'll make the more success by acting that way. The other way may be more secure, but if you want to go to the top, you're just never going to do it unless you break the system. Change is never easy, and the closer you get to success, the more ferociously those with a vested interest in the past will resist you. They want to resist. So I just say, trust me on that because I know you really do. You have to break the system a little bit and follow your own instincts. But if your vision is right, nothing will hold you down. Number 6, if you want to change the world, you have to have the courage to be an outsider.
Crazy.
In other words, you have to take certain...
Great advice, Trump. And come on. Coming from Trump, we've all seen what he's been through. So yes, that's deep and that's big. And these children, young adults, is gonna move forward. They're gonna remember this speech that the president of the United States, Trump, they're gonna be telling their kids about this. Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them are definitely going to go after and follow. Hell, some of them might end up working. Behind Trump or just administration or just, getting into it for change. So that's dope. That's really dope. President Trump, giving them the wisdom, giving them words of wisdom. That's what it's all about. Clean, smooth. You know what I'm saying? Read the more. Okay. Anyway, y'all, we finna keep it going. So let's just keep this good message flowing and stuff like that since we on Trump. You know what I'm talking about? The economy is booming under President Trump's leadership. The American people are coming first. Finally, we have a president that believes in our country and believes in putting the people of this country first. Okay? So with that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and dive on into it. Coming straight from Nick Adams, USA on X, if you want to follow him. Let's get it.
S&P 500, the Dow Jones, all up today. They've recovered everything that they lost since Liberation Day. Things are actually going really, really well. This whole thing about GM, the CEO saying that there's going to be a $5 billion cost to the tariffs. But she also said something very important. She said this will not be passed on to the consumer. So where is it going to come from, you might wonder? Well, they brought down their projections. Not all of it will be passed. No, she said none of it will be passed on to the consumer, that this will come out of the profits. They projected 14 billion profits. They're taking that projection down to 10 billion. This is what we want.
Okay, but wait.
This is what we want. Okay. We want tariffs. So we want manufacturing. We want the billionaires to pay their fair share, and we want the cost not to be passed on to the consumers. And that's what we're seeing. Such a great example.
Hold on. Let me just try to understand this. So GM's profits will decrease probably significantly as a result of this. Let's take that.
I'm telling you what they said.
I know. I'm just saying. Okay, let's take that to the next. What do you think is going to happen when GM's profits suddenly drop? What will happen to GM and the people that work there?
The CEO herself, Mary Barra, thanked President Trump for this because she is a patriot and she understands that the situation we're in with China is not sustainable.
Shareholders would like to have a word.
We sold out our future to China. Somebody had to do something about that.
Shareholders
the corporation is going to take less money. They're going to eat the profits out of the sense of patriotism.
It's so great to hear Democrats suddenly being so, pro-corporation and pro-corporate.
No. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm not being pro-corporation. I'm actually being pro-people because what's bad for the corporation is going to be bad for the worker. Now, look, I couldn't care less about
like Mitt Romney.
Listen. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't care less about any of the corporations.
Corporations are people, my friend.
They're not. Just listen to what I'm saying.
It's like upside down world.
It is. But look, I couldn't care about any of the corporations that were just listed. But what I do care.
I actually like enjoying watching them with the debates and stuff like that because sometimes you can sit here, debate, not agree and everything, but everything gets cultural and cool because they're able to both stress their sides and their opinions, you know what I'm saying, without nobody screaming like all that crazy mess. You know how they do. So this is kind of, I really enjoy watching, this. So, I mean, hey, y'all, it's working. Okay, we seen when Trump actually went through with that executive order, actually passing it through and things like that. Y'all see the very next day people were calling, trying to negotiate like, whoa, we didn't think we thought he was playing. No, but chill out. In due time, y'all, we finna be all right. We are about to be all right. I know I dang near turned my head. I went to the gas station. Y'all put $10 in my tank today. Do you know that thing almost got the full $5 more, which is 15, while my little baby full? I said, oh yeah. So give it time, y'all. Everything is about to come down, and I want y'all to pay attention now. Here's the thing. Y'all paid attention to everything these past 4 years, gas high and all that. Pay attention. Actually look at these gas prices dropping. You know what they were before. Look at them. Go to these gas stations. Some people's like, oh, it ain't came here yet. Give it time. It's coming. Trust me. It's coming. But pay attention. All right. Y'all pay attention. We finna keep it moving, y'all. Now we do. We're going to keep it moving. This is coming straight from Jamal off of X, Black Southerner. Okay, if you want to follow him on X. We have not forgotten Joe Biden and Kamala Harris' economy of no baby formula, empty shelves, grocery stores, and $5 gas prices. Come on, y'all. We finna get into it.
It's Friday, and let's go on and cut to the point. Don't you dare view, and don't you dare Democrats try to tell me, oh, we're about to go into a recession. Don't even tell that lie, because I remember under Joe Biden, no pandemic, we had vaccine when shells didn't have any baby formula. Remember that? Remember when Pete Buttplug went out for maternity leave, and he was trying to breastfeed his child like he was a woman, which he's not, he's a man? You remember that? You remember when we had no baby formula? You remember shells? Let me show you a picture. Take a look. Oh, you remember that? Do you remember that? We do. We remember that. Oh, yes, we do. And under Joe Biden, do you remember 2023 when the shelves were empty of food? You went to Food Lion. You went to Piggly Wiggly. And guess what? When you went to Food Lion, Piggly Wiggly, Harris Teeter, the shelves in the store look like this.
Where's the lies at now?
So don't talk to us about, oh my gosh, Trump tariffs are going to give us a recession. Trump tariffs. Well, what was it with Joe Biden when y'all was saying it's not a recession, it's transitory inflation, and it's not a recession? I forget that lie they called it. Don't you dare try to play us.
Don't.
We remember how you lied for Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Lied for Joe Biden. Horrible economy. So if you look at the CNN poll and they're telling you this.
CNN poll. Who would be doing a better job as president? Guess who comes out on top? Within the margin of error, but comes out on top. This looks a lot like the election result, right? Trump 45%, 2 points ahead of Harris at 43%. 12% say they'd be doing about the same. But 40% to congressional Democrats, 32%. Going to make a big circle here. But the bottom line is, when you look at Donald Trump in a vacuum, it's one thing. But when you actually match him up against folks in the real world, all of a sudden his numbers look considerably better. And when it comes to the economy, when it comes to immigration, but look here, which party has a better plan? And this is the margin among registered voters. Look at this on immigration. The GOP crushes the Democrats. Look at that. That's a 19-point edge. My goodness gracious, you rarely ever see leads like that in politics these days. How about on the economy, where Donald Trump's numbers have been struggling a little bit, but even there, Republicans hold a 9-point lead.
We remember Joe Biden presidency. And you can't erase it. You can't hide it. And you can't make us forget it, because we lived through it. And podcasters like me won't let you forget it.
Ain't gonna do it. Facts.
Proud I voted for Trump.
Me too.
Glad we got Doge.
Same. We ain't gonna let y'all forget it. We not. Because we lived through it. Okay? So I'm enjoying putting $10 in my tank and that thing get full. Okay? Instead of me getting one thing of milk, I can get two now. You feel me, Kylie? My puppy just looking at me like, what's going on with her? I'm just saying though, y'all, we finna keep moving. So stop trying my president, man. Y'all keep saying, I don't see no change. I don't see this. I don't see that. Stop playing. Come on. Let's keep on bringing the good old wins with my boy Trump up in office, y'all. Coming straight from Tony X2 on X. Kind of weird how quiet it got. The jobs numbers came in better than expected. Let's get into it.
Weird how quiet it got. The jobs numbers came in better than expected, and the Trump administration is pushing the Fed now to reduce interest rates. We've had 3 consecutive months of lower inflation when you guys told us that Donald Trump was going to drive the cost up and your egg prices are going to be so expensive. You guys haven't said anything about the fact that China has quietly rolled back many of their tariffs and publicly stated they're willing to discuss tariffs with the United States. You haven't said a single thing about what Donald Trump has been doing with Whitmer up in Michigan, even though she's a Democrat. You definitely haven't said anything about the Ukraine minerals deal, which also excludes any country that supported Russia during the conflict, as you said Donald Trump was a Putin supporter. You haven't talked at all about what India and Brazil just did and how that affects the BRICS nations. You're really quiet about Ford talking about opening 2 new plants in the United States. You've been very quiet about the hundreds of billions of dollars that have been pledged to the United States from foreign nations. Could you imagine if you supported the president just a little bit? Every single night, all I see on the news is negative, 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 and what if, what if, what if. They never actually tout what he's actually done. Could you imagine if they just once out of 100 times?
Come on. Where's the lies at? That's because he got real haters, y'all. This man going in there under 100 days and moving mountains like it's crazy. But no, they don't want to talk about that. They try to find something to turn into negative, and it ain't working, okay? Because all we do is win, win, win. All right, so a lot of people are waking up all around the world, y'all. Young people, to be exact, okay? They are sick and tired of being sick and tired. You can no longer brainwash us. Isn't that special? And this is what makes this beautiful, because it's a younger generation, y'all. You get what I'm saying? They tuning in. They like, oh, hell no. We can't let this happen, because when we are long and gone, y'all, these are the faces. These will be the next president, the next, Republican, Democrat, all this. These are the next people up. So let's get into it, y'all. Coming straight from Sheldon Daniels. Let's go.
They are terrified of young conservatives. That's for a good reason. You guys do realize that they've been spending decades controlling our media, our schools, and our culture. But honestly, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. We're the new generation that's waking up and rejecting their lies. We know freedom matters more over feelings. We know that the truth isn't subjective. I'm being honest, they can probably cancel us, threaten us, or even censor us. But they cannot stop a whole generation from fighting for what's right. I'm Fabrizio, and this is Fabrizio's Take, where we stand for truths, not trends. Over here, there's no spins, no fears. Honestly, bro, just the truth. If you're tired of being told to sit down and to stay quiet, why don't you just follow me? Honestly, I think it's our turn to speak up.
Let's go. Frisbee's Take. Follow that man.
Terrified of young
Follow that man, y'all. Follow that man on TikTok if you got one. That's what I like to see. More younger adults. Let's get it. We just gonna keep it moving, y'all. We just gonna keep this thing moving. Now, Doge is, when I tell y'all, they've been rolling the ball just like your boy Trump. Doge is not playing no games. When I'm telling y'all, they cracking down, baby. They are cracking down. Coming straight from its_the_DR. More stuff exposed by Doge. How many vacant buildings will be found? Let's get into it. So this is where our tax dollars going, is to empty buildings, y'all. Ridiculous, right? No money for hurricane victims. No money for when the California wildfires, all that was going on. No money when that oil tank spilled from that train. They still saying that the water is still poisonous, all that. Like, no funds, right? But using our tax dollars to pay vacant buildings. Let's get into it.
Knock, knock. Nobody's home. Look at this.
Look at
that. This big, beautiful area where employees are supposed to work. Nobody's here. So we're in the second headquarters at Freddie Mac. We were just in the other building. There was nobody there for miles and miles and miles. Look at these desks. They're clean.
Hello?
We've got a cafeteria, again, that's completely vacant. You've got food that's being prepared. The staff that makes the food is here 5 days a week, but the people who work in this building or should work in this building aren't here 5 days a week. 2,900 people that were supposed to work in the building. Turns out only 49 were showing up full time on a 5-day.
Wait, no, slow down. 2,900 people? How many showed up?
On average, the highest that we saw on a 5-day work week was 49 people.
49 people. 49.
Spending on that one building, just to point this out, $57 million a year.
Ooh.
And your lease payment?
In lease payments. Knock, knock. Nobody's home. Look at this.
And that's crazy. Those y'all keep doing what y'all do. Keep cracking down on these folks. I'm all for it. Holy smoly. Doge reveals the Department of Treasury was spending around $5 trillion a year without any budget codes. Come on, Elon. Let's get it in Doge.
Sure. So actually, a lot of great work at the Treasury this week. One of the crazy things with regards to the Treasury is that when a payment is made, and the computers at the Treasury actually pay about $5 trillion per year, like crazy amounts, there was formerly not a budget code on there. So if a payment was made, you didn't know actually what it was for. It could have been for anything. Yeah. There was a $4 billion COVID fund in the Department of Education, and there was no receipts required, so people could just draw down on it. And when people looked into it, this wasn't us, this was before us, they found that money was being used to rent out Caesar's Palace for parties, rent out stadiums, etc. And so the one change that Doge made with the Department of Education is we had the simple requirement.
So y'all taking our tax dollars and renting out partying on our hard-working earned tax dollars, while we sitting here and can't get all our tax money when it's time once a freaking year, because y'all taking it and spending it here and there, partying off of our hard work. Well, I be dang. Keep getting them, Doge. Let's go.
Requirement that if you draw down money, you must first upload a receipt. That was the only change that was made. You must upload your receipt. And upon doing so, yes, nobody drew down any money anymore.
Yes, but we didn't
of course
say
not.
That we'd check the receipt. You could send a fake receipt. You could send a picture of your dog. Anything. But as soon as we asked for anything at all, suddenly the requests were like, oh, we don't need it anymore. Oh, that's interesting.
They were renting Caesar's Palace.
Yes. They were like basically partying on the taxpayer money.
Wow.
Stadiums.
Yes.
Leasing stadiums. For what?
For parties, basically.
For parties.
Yes.
That's a big party.
It's a big party.
You'd think if you were stealing, you'd start small.
They do start small. But then what happens is over the years, so generally the fraud starts out small and they try to hide it. But then year after year, if nobody stops the fraud, it gets more and more brazen. And every year it gets bigger until they're literally renting out stadiums.
That's crazy work, yo.
$1 million to rent out a stadium?
Fraud in flagrante delicto, okay?
But no money to help when our country's in a crisis, when our people are in a crisis. There's no money. But we can take y'all tax dollars and rent out stadiums? I mean, a lot of people still be cool with this. They fine with their dollars getting stolen. Crazy. All right, y'all. We finna keep it moving. Let's get it. CNN asked if Doge is a success. Yes. Even my liberal counterpart admitted as much. Y'all, let's get into it. CNN? Really? Let's go.
$160 billion in estimated savings, obviously with a lot of cuts, but that is way less than was promised. Rob, is it considered a success?
So far, yes, I would say. I mean, remember, Doge's work isn't going to be completed until July 4th of 2026. We're only 100 days in. So comparatively, when you go back decades and look at the failure of anyone, whether it be in the presidential administration or Congress, to reduce the size of government, you have to go back to, what, Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich when they had a balanced budget? I'd say yes.
So to you, it was like a necessary fire starter.
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to talk about how Elon Musk thinks of himself. This is from the Washington Post. Asked who would lead it when he fades, he demurred, is Buddha needed for Buddhism? Was it not stronger after he passed away?
I just want to sit with that for a moment.
Yeah, let's hold space for that.
Let's hold space for that. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, that aside, I think in response to what you were saying, Is it a success? If you consider slashing and burning the federal government with very little oversight and no sense of what comes after that, what is necessary or unnecessary, then perhaps it is a success. If you actually think that what was necessary is perhaps a scalpel and not a machete, or in his case, what was it that he was holding up? The chainsaw.
Yeah.
Then perhaps not. I mean, there is no question that what Elon Musk managed to do, no one thought he was going to be able to do. I remember talking about this before the administration came in, and
you mean just the number, the
no,
target,
just that everyone had tried this, that his role, that he was going to get bogged down, that it was just never going to, that all the sort of red tape of and bureaucracy of the government wasn't actually going to be able to be cut. And of course he's managed to go through that.
That's what's up, yo. That's what I'm talking about. We rooting for y'all, man. Save our tax dollars and bring them right back here in this country. So next time something break out or go wrong, baby, we the people in our country is taken care of. I'm loving every bit of this. I voted for this. I don't know about y'all, but I voted for this. I did. All right, y'all. So now we about to start seeing some of the faces that are behind the Doge. Some of the people that are actually literally under Elon Musk and his whole team. They're starting to show their face. I mean, they have a few times. But this is who Elon has up under him that are showing us, exposing these people and what they want doing with our tax dollars, y'all. And I love that because truth be told, we wouldn't have known this. The things that they were saying were all lies. But Doge and them, they get in, they like, hey, here y'all go. Y'all tax dollars were going here, there, here, and there. Check it out. This is my boy Jesse Waters sitting down with him. Let's get it.
Big balls.
That should be obvious.
Why do they call you big balls?
I just said it as my LinkedIn username.
Okay.
Well, people on LinkedIn take themselves like super seriously, and they're pretty adverse to risk. And I was like, well, I want to be neither of those things. So I said it, and honestly, I didn't even think anyone would notice.
Yeah.
So what do you
LinkedIn
do?
is so cringe.
What does Big Balls do?
Right now, I'm working on some payment computer stuff. So one of our initiatives is to root out fraud and waste. And to do that, we started looking at the payment computers. And as mentioned earlier, like there is no accounting of what payments actually go to in the payment computer. So like you look at a specific line item, like $20 million. You're like, okay, well, what is this money going to? And for the majority of payment systems, it's like, well, we don't really know. And
yeah, they're like, what? That would be the response.
Is this the most basic responses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most common response.
What do you say when people just say, I don't know?
Well, it's a huge cause for concern because like the upstream thing, which is distributing the money, literally has no checks and no accountability to the actual American taxpayer. It's a huge vector for fraud, waste, and abuse.
So they ask where this money going and they have no idea. It's crazy. We want answers, okay? And Doge is definitely doing that for us. That's why I rocks with them, y'all. I rock with them, okay? Coming from the 5, y'all, only the Dems would act like saving $160 billion doesn't mean a damn thing. Of course. Because what? They been spending that, huh? Let's get into it.
Only the Dems would act like saving $160 billion doesn't mean a damn thing. Only the Dems would rather hate on Musk than benefit the American people. And only the Dems would predict that there would be all of this trauma and tragedy, that this one's going to lose their Social Security and this one's going to lose their Medicaid. None of that happened. it's all fear-mongering. And, you know, I believe that Musk doesn't want to go. He's also a special government employee after 130 days. But I'm still not clear unclear if those 130 days have to be consecutive, and whether or not he gets more days. But that's really not the point. But Greasy Gavin getting up there and saying, I can do Doge better. And when he honestly started with the sunglasses, I thought he was talking about Biden. But, he says he's going to balance the budget in California. They're bleeding cash in California. In 2023, there was a $46 billion $32 billion deficit. A year later, there's a double $46 billion deficit. Newsom needed to borrow $6 billion to keep Medicaid afloat.
Wow.
As we know, we got an additional 2 million illegals on Medicaid. And everybody says, we don't want to take it away. Well, I actually believe if you come to this country, you should be able to provide for yourself if you don't want to work. Otherwise, go home. But that's just me.
Jessica, that is another achievement.
Hey, baby. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. So, I want to know y'all thoughts. We coming to the end. Drop in the comment section. What are y'all thoughts on everything that we just went over? You know what I'm saying? Man, shout out to Doge. When I tell you they are doing what really needs to be done, and in the long run, in the end, y'all probably hate Musk now, but you definitely going to be thanking him later. Okay? Same thing with Trump. That's why I say embrace while they're in office. Enjoy this moment. This is going down in history. I'm telling y'all. When we long and gone, the generation after generation, these people will be talking about Trump administration. You're going to have people following in this man's footsteps and the people that he picked. Like, literally. It's just going to be history repeating itself. Just a different generation. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in and kicking it with your girl. Y'all, we finna end it with Trump Girl on Fire. Trump Girl on Fire. If you want to follow her on X. Anyone that voted for Trump and now says there's something thing they don't like, President Trump has 1,000 reasons to support him. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's chop it up in the comment section. Y'all, appreciate y'all for tuning in, kicking it with your girl. Until the next reaction, y'all, let's get it. Let's get into it.
Check it out, fam. If this shit don't apply, then let the shit fly. I don't know what's up with some of you conservatives, Republicans, or Trump voters who are reaching out to me in my DMs, my comment section. Some of y'all even sending me messages telling me that I need to withdraw my support from President Trump because he's doing something that you don't like. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but at the end of the day, I support President Trump, advocate for him, because there's many of reasons why.
Me too.
I'm not going to throw all those many of reasons why away for one thing that he's doing. When he endorsed Lindsey Graham, I voiced my opinion about it, and I kept it fucking moving. But some of you guys that are turning around saying, I don't like what he's doing, so I'm no longer going to support him. You know what that tells me? That tells me you're fucking stupid. Dumb as shit. Because if you voted for him and you weren't a Republican before or conservative, that just means you got tired of Democrat Party shit. That's what that tells me. And now that he's doing something that you don't like, you want to call him out and have energy. Shut the fuck up.
Ooh.
Shut the fuck up with that stupid
shit.
Said like Candace Owens. Candace Owens is doing Candace Owens shit. Am I mad at Candace? Nope. Does it hurt me?
I love me some Candace Owens now.
Know why? Because Candace is just doing Candace shit. And that Candace is doing that, guess what? There's a lot of individuals in America that think they can do the same fucking thing. Try to manipulate people who voted for President Trump to withdraw his support for him. No.
She's stupid.
Just do you, motherfucker. Just do you. Some of y'all are fucking weird. Weird as shit. Straight
Bimbos.
up. Nobody in their right mind would withdraw support from that man over one thing when he's taking care of all these other 20,000 fucking things. Oh, stupid asses.